while you're not running in Congo, Kaysha President, you'll teach a lesson about politics to Trump and his supporters. Listen, first of all, I'm a French citizen. I don't have Congolese nationality, so I, I mean, my sister is a. So wait, my brother-in-law is a politician. His wife, my sister, she's a senator. My dad was the vice president of the Senate, and he's still a senator. And he's been a politician all his life and all my life. My mom is a businesswoman, but she has her hands here and there. My grandma was a politician. Half of my uncles are politicians. I had at least I probably have half of my family in politics. So I'm not. I don't know if Joel's dad was in politics, but I mean, it's not something that is new for us. But I believe that I got all this in me because of the way I think about some things, and I know my way around. But I don't really believe that you can run a country where you kind of left that country when you were 7 years old and you only came for never more than a month. I don't believe that you can run a country like that. You really need to know your country inside out, to know to not just know Kinshasa and Lubumbashi, but know Goma and even further Bandundu, the east, the west, the north, the south of the country. You really need to know a little bit more about your country, and to be really seen as a force to be reckoned with, somebody who really can create change. But at the same time, you need to understand the people. You need to understand the people of your country, because every country is different. This is why, to me, every time I see people who are criticizing the ways people are doing something in one country, I'm like, always try to see the world not just from your eyes, but also from the eyes of the people that you are talking about. When you talk about the Chinese and the way their country works, or the way they work, you have to understand that these are countries that existed before your country. Back when when France, Germany, and all these countries were still fighting wars and forming themselves, the great empires of the Chinese dynasties were already implemented, and their civilization is older than yours. The way they respect their leaders, all these things, it's older than the democracies you created 400 years ago, and 400, 1,000, whatever. And when I watch other countries, or when I talk about what I would do in Africa if I was the president of my country of origin, I'm talking from the eyes of somebody who lived 32 years of my 46 years in France. And I traveled all around, but I was based in France since I was 7 years old. And now I've spent 8 years in Portugal. So I believe that I know France and the French way, and my country, France, way more than I know Congo, the Congolese way, and etc. Not because I'm not interested, but just because I've lived in France all my life, and if you take most of the people that I've been with, my friends, they are mostly French people who lived in France. Even if we are from different origins, we are still from the diaspora. And a lot of people that come from our countries, and they they talk a lot about things that they think they understand, like Africa, the way Africa work, etc. Or they say, oh, if I was in Africa, I would do this, I would do that. Most of them, and there's been 10 years ago, there's been a movement to return to Africa by a lot of the Congolese youth. Because, yeah, a lot of my cousins, of my friends, of people that I grew up with, and that we left when we were 7 years old because we were part of the elite, and our parents sent us to Europe to study and etc. And a lot of us, a lot of my cousins, my friends, a lot of them decided to go back to Congo to live there. And because they were like, yeah, it's the moment to invest, it's the moment to there's a possibility to live different, to have big houses, to have this, to take the lands and whatever that our parents created, and we can go back. And a lot of them, they came with mentalities from Belgium, mentalities from France, mentality from Canada, mentality from the US. And when they arrive in Congo, they realize that, yeah, there's a mentality in Congo as well. And it's not the same from where you came from. And you cannot arrive and apply whatever you want to apply in places where things are different. The things that you can call corruption when you want to use it, when it serves you in France, out there is different. It's out there. I'm not talking about political corruption. I'm just talking about day-to-day little things where in France there's some things that you could not skip a line because you pay or do some stuff. Out there, it's normal. And you think that you're gonna arrive and you're gonna. I know a guy who he has a nightclub, and he went back to Congo Brazzaville to restart his life. And after 5 years, I was seeing him like yelling at his employees, and I was like, yo, why are you like not talking to them normally and just being respectful? And he was looking at me with like, hey, it doesn't work like that here. Like, if you don't yell, people don't do things. And even when you yell, people only like to do 70% of what you told them to do. Like, doesn't make sense. It was like, it's not the same here. Like, and listen, I came here thinking I'm gonna do this, and listen, it's just different. People are different because they have hundreds of years of being different. And you don't just arrive with ideas and things that you want to implement. And this is why democracy doesn't work in our countries, because it's not made by the people that you want, and it's not made for the people that you want to implement it with. It's not made for that mentality. If you want to implement a political system that works in France or Belgium, in Congo or in Ivory Coast, these countries, you have to start from the kids who are 5 years old now, and then you start implementing it for them, and then they will grow with that. But the people who lived all their life with different rules and different stuff, they don't understand what you're talking about. Even when you are trying to make them believe that they want the democracy that you are talking about in the media that you run from Paris, yeah, they all want democracy until they are in power, and yeah, their old ways are itching. And this is why I could run in France. I think I would even be better. I don't even know, even in France, like, because the way I talk and the way I'm frank, people would always make like Président Président Kaysha, que pensez-vous de nanana? C'est la vie. What? Oh, he said c'est la vie. Yeah, c'est la vie. Listen, we have a president in France that was a president at 39. And even him was not fit to be a president of that country. Not because he's not French. He is French, but he thought that he could run France like America, like a startup. He arrived with ideas. We're gonna do things different. We're gonna do that. We're gonna be like this. We're gonna be like that. And soon as he arrived in power, he had everything. This this thing, the yellow vest, then the strikes, then the COVID, and he showed that he was not ready for this and was not fit for this, not because he's a bad person, but because he was not ready for 60 million people. 60 million people is not the same thing as giving ideas to 500 people on YouTube. It's not the same thing, because you have 60 million people, including those who completely disagree with you, that you have to run. And then you have people who, yeah, look, where are the masks? There's no mask. Here's the mask. We don't want to wear masks. Oh, fuck, we don't want to stay home. Well, there's COVID. Okay, it's a vaccine, so you can go at home. I don't want to take a vaccine. Fuck you then. It's not easy. It's easy to believe that you can because you're smart, because X, Y, Z, but you have to realize that the people that you're gonna have to convince, some of them are smart like you. Some of them are smart like you but evil. Some of them are dumb as fuck. And they are hypnotized by somebody who's smart and evil. And now you just realize that you can't move. Like, hey, what you gonna do?